Welcome back out to another one of our standout student interviews. Caleb Burgraff here with Finley Petit, who is a senior at Salida High School. And Finn, you were telling me as we were walking down the hallway, senioritis is kind of hitting you right now. How are you fighting it off?
I got a few things keeping me grounded. One is trying to qualify for state for track in the 1,600 meter race, the mile. That's definitely, I'm doing early season training, so that's, keeping me grounded here at high school. So that's one. And then I think another one is my AP tests. I kind of like those. I think, studying for them is once you get going, you kind of get some momentum. And if you do well, you can get credit. So I'd say those two things, state track and AP tests, kind of keeping me here, keeping me grounded.
You talk about the AP class. We'll talk about track in a moment as one of your extracurricular deals, but talk about the AP classes. You're in AP Calc right now, but you also have a lot of other AP classes behind you. What drove you to try and take those?
A number of reasons. For one, getting the credit from the AP test, if you do well on the AP test, is definitely a big motivator because you can knock out some of the gen ed requirements in college, and then, that maybe opens you up to do a minor or double major a little bit easier in college. And then another is just kind of the challenge. If they offer a little bit of a challenge, I like that. That's something I like to pursue. They're just pretty interesting. A lot of classes, AP Calc, AP World, AP Chem, those all just kind of blew my mind at some point, or heck, like every week they blow my mind sometimes. So those are definitely the reasons that drove me to take some AP classes.
And you push yourself in a lot of ways, a lot of clubs and groups that you're a part of. Knowledge Bowl is one of them, but you also said that outside of that, you worked as being an Eagle Scout and are part of the Boy Scouts. What was that experience like? It's something to get to that level of it that not a lot of people can say. It's
definitely been a journey. I've been in different scouting troops in different states, one in Kansas, one in Colorado Springs, and then I finally got my Eagle Scout here in Salida. I did my project in Springs, and that was just a big process just because, you got to organize it, you got to plan it, you got to make sure you have all the necessary materials. So there's a lot of prep that goes into it, and then on the day of the project, you got to lead, a group of 15 plus scouts and adults to accomplish what you've planned for so long. So yeah, it's definitely been a big process, but doing scouts is fun. You get good outdoor skills, you make friends, you get good experiences, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Talk a little bit now about the other side of things, and that's the competitive side of things for you, and really the cross country and the track have really been kind of the drive for you. What's it been like to be a part of not just good teams, but successful teams that have gone on to kind of create a legacy here at Salida?
It's been super fun, just that journey of trying to do well at state and be as fast as we can, given the guys we have to work with, given the time frame we have. So that's been a lot of fun. I know since my sophomore year, that's really when I knew I kind of wanted to be a little bit more competitive, because I almost got on our state team the sophomore year, but I was just barely put on that number 8 spot at the end of the season. So, that hurt a little bit, but then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be complacent. I'm gonna try and be competitive in this, healthily, of course. Ever since then, we've done pretty well at state, not taking any titles, but doing pretty well for ourselves. We're, going up against much bigger, like charter schools, private schools. So it's been a lot of fun to try to just do as well as we can and not settle.
What have you learned from that competition that you maybe couldn't learn in a classroom?
I kind of mentioned it earlier, but not being complacent, not really taking anything for granted, because like I said, my sophomore year, I thought I was good. I thought I was on the state team, but then, at the end, I let my guard down a little bit, and I didn't. So I think the biggest lesson that it taught me was you have to just always be aware, never let your guard down, even if you feel kind of good, and just making sure that you're going to be where you need to be and not slipping up at the end.
You're getting ready to head off to college, and looks like Boulder's one of the options, with a few more out there on the table. But what are you looking forward to most about the next level and that choice and that process of making the decisions of where you want to go?
I'm just looking forward to wherever I end up having a place where, everyone's excited to learn, everyone's wanting to learn, and you got a high level of academic integrity and academic achievement, also just surrounded by a lot of smart people too that will, in the process of you being around them, raise the bar, and, you're probably going to become a better student yourself just by, surrounding yourself by all these new people. That's pretty standard across most universities.
You're going to be surrounding yourself with new people, but you're a familiar face around here. What's some advice you would pass on to somebody, if a freshman or a transfer or a foreign exchange or anybody came up and asked you for advice?
I would say, even if you think you're not interested in a class or a topic or a sport or something, the ability for you to make yourself interested in something is probably a lot more than you would think. I know, I've had classes, cross country too. I go in, I'm like, I'm not excited excited about them, but I'm just kind of, indifferent about them. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a try. And then in the process, I end up really liking them. And, sometimes it just kind of happens. You end up really liking, that sport or class or whatever. But sometimes you got to almost try to force yourself to be interested in it. But once you are interested in it, it's a lot of fun. But you just have to believe that you can do that you can make yourself interested in something that seems a little dull or boring.
Great advice, Finn, and thank you so much for the time. We'll look forward to seeing big things from you in the future, and good luck as you get ready for that next level.
All right, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.